Hi guys, I'm Dr. Mioka. Thanks for joining me. I'm continuing my series on schools in America, and in today's video, I wanted to talk about how our young people, our African children, are experiencing racism in the American public school system. I think that this video is important for anybody that is looking to bring maybe their children from Africa to the United States for school. Yeah, because there are some people who maybe like won a green card and they'll be moving to the United States, or maybe they just got a work visa and they're looking to come here. And I think it's important for you to know that, moving your child from Africa to bring them here to a school, like a high school here or even a primary school, it can have some consequences, some negative consequences on a child if you pick a school where they're not very sensitive to the needs of migrant children. Yeah, and we don't have enough research being done on the experiences of African kids in American schools. So this is the reason why I thought this video would be helpful to anybody that is looking to immigrate here with their family. Yeah, and having said that, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. You will love the content on my channel. I'm mostly looking at migration from Africa to the United States of America. So I kind of do videos around themes related to migration, and sometimes I give tips on how to apply for and ace your interview at the US Embassy if you're applying for a green card. Okay, now guys, I came across a research article recently online. I just googled around. I wanted to kind of have an understanding of the experiences of migrant children in US schools, and I was very surprised to come across this article. It's an academic research paper that was written by Dr. Lydia Kananu Kiramba, and interestingly enough, she's actually from Kenya, based here in the US at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln. So she and her colleagues, two other colleagues, wrote this paper where they had interviewed children from Ghana, Nigeria, and Ethiopia. They interviewed them about their schooling experiences. The kids were high schoolers, basically, between 9th grade and 12th grade, I think it was. So that's just high school. It's like if you were in Kenya, it would be your version of Form 1 to Form 4 kind of thing. So they interviewed those kids and they were asking them what their experience was at school and all that stuff, and they came to find out actually that these kids were experiencing quite a bit of racism. That's what I would call it. They were experiencing racism. They were kind of like the minority at the school, but they were being stigmatized and discriminated against in the worst way possible. Some of them were being even called racial slurs. I think I remember she's in the paper. These authors talk about a child saying they were called monkey boy, and by the this slur is not even new, because I've come across it quite a bit, like googling around it just online. I've seen a lot of kids saying they're being called monkey by other kids at school. Then they were also talking about like when the teacher gives them a group assignment, the other kids in the class, they don't want to be near, just to sit in the same group with the African children, so they felt isolated. One kid said that all the kids moved away from her, and she had to just be alone with the teacher to do the assignment. Another student said that when they tried to answer a question, the other kids would laugh at her or him. So they're just all these dynamics in the classroom that to me just clearly have a racial angle. So our African kids are not having very good experiences. I also watched at least 2 other videos. They were YouTube videos, but they were news reports, of children black kids who are reporting experiencing racism in their school environment. One incident happened in Washington State, I think in Vancouver area. I don't remember the name of the school. And there's another kid again in a different state. I forget the state. So when you look at these pieces of evidence, you begin to realize that something is going on in US schools that is not very good. And unfortunately, we don't have enough research on the experiences of African-born children. That is, children who were born in Africa, maybe grew up there a little bit, and then were brought here. We don't really know what's actually going on with them in the public school system here, although I have spoken to some of them. I've spoken to some young adults here who went through the public school system, and they say that they didn't have very good experiences. They were being bullied basically by other kids, you know. So this is serious, guys. If you are thinking of bringing your child to the United States of America to school, please just be aware that the public school system here is not a perfect situation. It just depends on what school the child goes to. I'm not saying that these incidents are happening everywhere. They are happening in some schools. So you need to be very aware of the potential risks you face by bringing your child to school here. And I say that so that you are prudent in selecting a school for your child. Make sure that you don't pick a school where your child will end up being bullied and just made to feel bad. Because if I may just point back to Dr. Kananu's research, you know, some of the kids there said that because of all this bullying and everything that was going on with them, they just started losing interest. They now started losing interest in their academics. And that is what you'll find happening in many instances where kids are bullied. They start losing interest in the school, in their academics, and from there they're just very likely to perform very poorly. You can have a kid who was very bright start to perform poorly and then even maybe drop out of school altogether. Yeah, because they can't handle the stress of being in a school environment that is not supportive. Yeah, so I bring this issue up so that I help anyone that is thinking of bringing their family here. It's a heads up for anyone that's trying to bring children here to school to be aware. And I also wanted to say that, you know, the bullying, ethnic bullying or racial attacks at school can have a negative consequence on a child. It can lead to mental ill health. It can result in social anxiety, depression, suicide ideation, and even suicide. So it's a very serious matter. And as Black people who care about one another, we must inform each other about the risks and also think through what it is that we can do to ensure that our children are safe in school spaces here in America. Guys, let's not just think about how we immigrate. Yes, it's cool to immigrate and come here and find great opportunities here for work and for your children. I'm all about, yes, let's do what we can to empower ourselves economically. If that requires migration, by all means, let's migrate. But even as we migrate, let's be informed. Let's make sure that we make decisions that keep us safe wherever we are. Yeah, we make sure that we're keeping ourselves safe wherever we are. We keep our Black children safe. We don't want them being in spaces where their lives are at risk, where they experience traumatization and that kind of thing. Yeah, so I also want to say, guys, that one of the things, I think I just wanted to talk about what you could do, briefly, what you could do to ensure the safety of your child. Be a proactive parent. If you have immigrated here and your child is going to elementary or high school here, be a proactive parent. Please know what's going on with your child. Speak with your child. Just check in with them all the time. Ensure that they are open enough to tell you what's happening. Because based on what I have seen and heard, sometimes children are experiencing, you know, bullying at school and they're not talking because they're afraid of the repercussions. So they keep quiet, and then this thing goes on for so long, 4 months, 5 months, for a long time before a child finally maybe says something. And by then, you know, the damage has been done. So create an atmosphere at home where your children feel, you know, comfortable to speak with you about what might be going on with them at school. I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you found this video useful. Please, if you did, give it a thumbs up, like it, and leave a comment for me. I'd love to come back and give some feedback. And by all means, do consider subscribing and come back again to watch another video when I drop some gems on immigration in America. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.